Most people think discipline is about what you say yes to. But as a veteran, I've learned it's really about what you're willing to say no to. Saying no saved my health, my sanity, and my honor. And it might save yours too. I'm Dr. Peralta, physical therapist, exercise physiologist, run coach, and Marine veteran. And for over 10 years, I've helped hundreds of people rehab injuries, get stronger, and eliminate pain. But before I could, help others, I had to learn one of the hardest lessons for myself: how to say no without feeling guilty, without feeling the shame. Today, I'm going to share how saying no helped me protect my health, stay on the fitness path, and live with more honor and integrity, and how you can use the same principle to finally break free from obligations or people and habits that pull you off your mission. So I want to cover what saying yes too often, how it could, derail your goals, the mindset shift that helped me set boundaries without guilt, how I applied this during marathon training and in my relationships, the 5-step framework that I work to say no with confidence, and why discipline is the ultimate act of self-respect. Stick with me until the end. I'll give you a free resource that'll help you train pain-free and protect your time from distractions. And if you're ready to train smarter, stay injury-free, and finally lock into your mission, check out my free training, link in the description below. So I'm going to share a story with you. The cost of saying yes too often. So I used to be one of these people pleasers. I used to say yes to almost everything. And I'm afraid that if I said no, I'd be abandoned or make people upset. That fear came from anxiety and some of my earlier struggles when I was dealing with borderline personality disorder after leaving the Marines. I thought pleasing others would help me, be accepted. I thought that people would love me more that if I said yes all the time. But all it did was create unstable relationships and mood swings when I felt that I wasn't getting what I wanted. So when I was training for the New York City Marathon, my girlfriend at the time didn't like how much time I was spending away from, taking away time from the relationship. She thought I was spending too much time running. She thought if I was skipping a party or social event to train, it became a big argument, right? And sometimes I would say yes, and I would resent it. I'd be like, "Yes, dear." And then I would waste half the day doing something I didn't even want to do, like being out shopping for like 4 or 5 hours while she's trying on different clothes. And I'm just there like, "Yes, dear," resenting it. And then one of my mentors told me, every time you say yes to means saying no to what you want most. You have to say no until it hurts. Then say no some more so you can take that one yes all the way. That hit me hard. My yes to her was a no to my fitness, my marathon goals. And then one of my other mentors helped drill this in. Discipline is the root of all good qualities. See, weakness shouldn't get a vote. Frustration doesn't get a vote. Then I realized that when saying no wasn't selfish, it was discipline in action. It was protecting my mission. So here are the 5-step framework I use to help stay no and be true to myself and to live a life with more integrity. One, clarify the mission, right? Know exactly where you're working towards. Okay, for me, it was at that season of my life, I was working towards the marathon. Now it's about just being generally fit. I'm here coaching others to be fit and healthy. And my mission is still on the path of health and fitness, right? So you have to define what's your mission. Maybe you're trained to lose 10 pounds, or maybe you're training to run your first 5K. Whatever it is, you should have a clear path towards your mission, where you want to be, and see what things are going to be derailing that, right? So you should be kind of aware, like, hey, if you're going to be saying yes to drinking all the time, that's going to probably derail your goal to being fit or healthy. And accept that not everyone might like him, right? Maybe your old friends will be upset that you're saying no to their request to hang out all the time, and that's okay. And you should be able to respond without guilt. So like, sorry, I can't make it. I have other priorities right now. You don't have to over-explain yourself, right? So that's like the third part of the framework is kind of understand that you don't have to be feeling shame or guilt because you said no to something that you don't want to do. And replace that with a yes to yourself. Understand that saying yes to going to sleep at a reasonable time is saying yes to your goals, right? Every no frees time for your training, for your health, your recovery, and your goals. Maybe you're going to say no to that double bacon cheeseburger so you could have a salad, right? Practice until it's automatic. Those first few no's are hard, but the 10th one feels like freedom, right? You keep practicing. It's like building a muscle, right? You could think of your mind, your mindset as doing a rep. Every repetition of saying no to something you don't want to do, it makes you mentally stronger, right? You start setting boundaries. You start saying no to, having drinks at 4 a.m, right? Because you have to be up early the next day and you want to be fit and healthy. So for me, saying no meant no to staying out late and wrecking my sleep, right? No to going out partying, drinking all the time, or smoking cigarettes all the time. No to skipping workouts for social events I didn't care about, right? I didn't care about sipping wine at some clothing shop, right? No to foods that pulled me away from my health goals. It also meant yes to consistent sleep, going to bed at 10 p.m., waking up at 5 a.m., daily movement, saying yes to myself to my yoga, my lifting, my running, rucking, and saying yes to my meditation and healthy eating on my terms, not just saying yes because, oh, there's some donuts in the office. I have to say yes and not make the other person feel shameful for bringing donuts. I don't have to have those donuts in the first place. So if you want to train pain free and finally get your time back so you can hit your fitness goals, grab my free training in the link in the description below. Protect your mission, protect your health, and start saying no to the wrong things so you can say yes to the right ones.